Alright, what do we have here? Class 1 reactor, Class 2 thruster, nanocarbon and metal. This is a pretty easy one. But check out this new hull configuration on the Javelin. The long, narrow ship with outrigger stuff. A lot of the modules are external. Pretty beat up, as expected. They don't give it ships. Alright, well, let's start as usual. We're gonna go decompress the ship.
Airlock pressure levels dropping. Airlock pressure levels increasing. Air pressure level
May have
decreasing.
to make some changes. Yeah. Video setting
Airlock pressure level.
seems a little bit better.
Airlock pressure levels increasing.
This is like a little outrigger control station where the pilot sits. Decompress this. Not gonna take any of this apart yet.
Air pressure level
I'm gonna
decreasing.
start on the outside.
Airlock pressure levels dropping. Air pressure level
Crawl space
decreasing.
between the hulls was also pressurized. Vent this airlock.
Airlock
forward
pressure
sector.
levels dropping.
Now, interesting thing about these javelins, they have two
Air
pressurized
pressure level
areas.
decreasing.
At least two, sometimes more. Office area, that safety post, safety third. That's the Link's motto. Obviously, profit first. Thing floating around outside the ship is the bolt. I think the light. Where did that come from? Well, south. The light has already fallen off the ship. I haven't even done anything.
Airlock pressure levels dropping.
Alright, so the rear section will
Airlock pressure
depressurize as
levels
well.
increasing.
But cycle the airlock again.
Airlock pressure levels dropping.
Vent this section.
Air pressure level decreasing. Air pressure level decreasing.
Vent the crawl space. I think we're okay. That should be everything. Maybe? Actually, this is a very small area. No, I think that's all of it. Okay. So we do need react. We'll need to just, decommission everything back. Cut it all apart. Start with these mounts. These mounts hold the amplifiers on the outside. I don't particularly need to salvage them for this work order, but they are worth a little money. They're a little easier to salvage things. Like, you can't take the rings off unless you, detach or detach the mount. These javelin ships are built in ring. So, as I'm going around, detaching each ring from the preceding ring. That will become much more obvious in a moment when I pull the thing apart. Alright, make our way back out. Get inside. Crawl space the crew was on. Doesn't matter, I can go out this way. A little bit. There we go. My thrust damage. That's a new function. New mechanic that they added. There's now progressive damage states for each tool in your system. And your thrusters start to like malfunction, misfire, things like that as they become more and more damaged. And repair them between jobs. So, first section, we're gonna drift that over and get it processed. Gently. Very gently. Yeah. This whole thing is a high gain antenna and amplifier. We're gonna cut this apart at the cut point. That will be salvaged. This section is also detached, so we're going to process that. First, I'll go ahead and get one of the work order items done. That class 1, class 2, thrust. Bye. Now we can start moving this ring off of the back of the craft. See, it's quite large. Multiple sections here that have come apart because we cut up all the connection. Alright, I'm gonna now cut those and pull the reactor out. Going to toss that right into the barge. Perfect. No issue. Class 1 reactor, not too hard to do. That big boy over there. Go ahead and cut this thing in half. Tether these out. Salvage. Then also, good bit of money. Not like a lot, but there. Aw, I wasn't watching it for 2 seconds and it flipped into the first. Oh well. Still do work order. I mean, a ton or so of nanocarbon is only like 70k. The reactor is worth 3. No, small reactor. Not about the nanocarbon. This is a little trickier to detach because you gotta get this airlock out too.
Salvage deposit accepted. Credits transferred.
Oh good, it wasn't attached. Sometimes they're attached to the ring, so it's a little difficult to pull the rings off. In this case, it comes right off. Goes right in there. There's another look at the overall structure. This is one of the new javelin ships. Got an ion ring around it.
Processing valuable objects.
Got a long, narrow structure with a lot of external modules.
Get in while the getting's good. We wrap.
Got another airlock salvage.
Salvage
This
secured.
thing
Account
is
credit applied.
detached. So I need to pull it forward free of the internal module. Then send it that way. Handle this about the same way, but it needs to be at over there. Two sides. These are new, larger, like industrial cut points. They take a lot longer to cut through. Okay. We want to roll this thing off of here. That might work.
Object accepted for processing.
That's not working.
Credits
Alright,
deposited.
we're gonna have to pull this off as well. I think it was caught up top. Momentum will carry that free. Slide it across. Okay, we've actually already gotten everything we need except for metal, so don't particularly need this, but it's fun. Alright, free some of these large fuel tanks, send them down. These cut points on the bottom are what hold the fuel tank mounts on. And once we free them, we can separate them. They're all kind of stuck together by the middle interstitial fuel tank. But if we attach them that way, we can tether them down, salvage. They'll make their way down there. These, well, they're not worth nearly much. So if you're getting choosy and your barge is full, you may not want those.
Salvage secured. Credits deposited.
Now, getting the fuel tanks out of the middle is going to be a little bit more complicated. If you're wondering why I don't use the tether or the grapple to move these around, they're about a ton each. They don't really respond to grapple much. On down here. Probably airlock controls inside that didn't quite go in there.
Salvage deposit accepted. Credits transferred.
Yeah. There. Now they've salvaged. These aluminum handles
Alright, Cutter.
don't actually go in here, but
About a minute left.
I don't bother cutting them off. Half a pound of aluminum. Alright, that's pretty much everything I wanted to do this shift. But I will go ahead and lay some charges so we can cut the iron off. So these are the new demolition charges. They cut on a plane.
Your oxygen reserves are low. Note that excess carbon dioxide can cause damage to Link's equipment.
So if I did that, do something like this, that section just drifts free. That nice. Obviously I have to cut these, get these free. Just showing that off because we have 6 seconds left. So, thrusters and our cutter were damaged. Go ahead and fix those. Go back out and see what else we can salvage. Now, at this point, I usually start doing the ion ring. It's not really, oop, I didn't mean to throw that. It's not really necessary for this work order, but it is worth the money. Yeah, I didn't do that. I haven't actually tried to disarm before. So, live on camera. See.
Okay, Cutter. I've got the new design in front of me. It looks like there's still a trick to taking them off. Go ahead and give it a try. There you
Okay.
go, Cutter. Nice
Yeah,
work.
disarm.
Now do that 500 more times, and you'll be a master.
Go ahead and cut these structural cut points as well. Kind of wish you could rotate the charge cutting zone without rotating yourself, but I understand why they did that. Go ahead and cut the bottom ring off too. And one more charge. That should cut this entire ring free for salvage. They'll stay well back just in case something goes wrong. Nope. Beautiful. Alright. Get these all down. These take up a considerable amount of space for sometimes difficult to fit everything.
Salvage secured. Account credit applied.
All the bottom, you're in. Bring top this way a little. I think 2 tons. Dragging it around. Doesn't go fast. Just want to clear the ship before I tether it down. Does that go in? No. Oh,
Salvage secured. Credits deposited.
and of course it still hit the ship. Oh well. It'll roll over. Now, this front cage made of titanium. Can't get it off until I remove the bars though. Go back inside and do that.
Salvage deposit accepted. Credits transferred.
Ah. While I'm in here, I'll go ahead and cut apart the front of the hull to keep the cap on. Okay, that should do. Go ahead and cut this ring apart as well. Got 2 little supports. Now, peel this whole thing apart. 1.2 tons of nanocarbon. Pull out stuff in the processor. thing on the bottom.
Valuable
Cage,
object
flip right off.
Credits awarded.
Of course, heavy drag, pull it forward. Free, I'll cut those tethers, send it off. Just like that. Next section is actually pretty light. I can pull it out a little bit and send it off.
Valuable object processed.
Nothing in it
Credits deposited.
at all. Just empty hull plating. Alright. Pull this section out now. Connect it via these. Cut.
Processing valuable object. Credits awarded.
At this point, we finished all of the objectives,
Work
so
order complete.
I'm gonna enjoy this, cut it apart. Matter what we focus on. Just quickly verifying that the airlock is not pressure. Always good to know.
Credits deposited.
Not cutting into a pressurized airlock. Now this has been one of the simpler javelins. See if we can find a medium next. So something different. Because this is, I don't want to say simple, but it's certainly not as complex as some get. This rated is. Alright, this ring we can take off. Next ring, we're gonna have to wait. We're gonna salvage the outrigger pocket. Go ahead and take this thing apart. Have these 2 top and 2 bottom external connection points. Then you have to go inside to finish demolish. So there are 4 pins in front.
Valuable object processed. Credits awarded.
2 in the back. The last 2, it actually took me a little while to find them. They're under this little compartment. Yeah. This little door comes up. Data disk. There are a couple of pins down here. There's 4 total. A little bit of stress on that one. Gotta be careful. Sometimes things fly apart. Where'd that go?
Alright, Cutter, you got 5 minutes left of this shift before they turn the lights out on you. Pitter patter.
I don't know.
Leave her out.
Doesn't matter. So all of this can now go straight into process.
Processing valuable objects. Credits awarded.
I grab taking a damage. That's alright.
Salvage secured. Account
Now that
credit
that is
applied.
done, should be able to bring this panel out of the ring. Here. Sometimes it gets stuck a little bit and it's difficult to get out. Will let me get the airlock out of there.
Salvage secured. Credits deposited.
I'm gonna grapple this ring that way, hoping to roll it and let me get the airlock out of the way. This airlock in place, very, very hard to get the ring to come off. If I push the airlock back in. Alright, looks like it's slipping off. There we go. In you go. I'm gonna put that fuel tank.
Salvage secured.
Exciting.
Account credit applied.
So,
Oxygen reserves are low.
go get some
Reminder,
oxygen.
asphyxiation can lead to missed salvage quotas.
Welcome to Vendatron 9000.
Oxygen levels stabilizing.
I'm using the grappler to pull myself around a little faster. Alright, we need to shut down the power system by popping all the fuses out. Simple little mini game. When there are no red lights, turn the handle. Oop. Salvage fuse worth $1. The other one's on the side. 3 in total. There they are. Rub is more fuses you remove, the faster the lights flicker. Still not very difficult though. Alright, now you can safely remove the power generator. Triangle thing here. Gonna head that directly into salvage. Goodbye. Now all of the systems on the ship have shut down. So if we needed to use a maintenance
Salvage
terminal or
deposit
something,
accepted.
we can't now.
Credits
But
transferred.
this ship is simple enough, it doesn't have any of that. I don't care. Take the next ring off. Let's pull this forward a little while. Get it out of here.
Coder, we're getting down to the wire. Let's put a bow on this shift.
I try to do a grapple on either side so it pulls evenly rather than binding up against the ship hull, the inner hull. Rings are tricky. Okay. Now I want to separate the back of the ship.
Salvage secured.
I also wanted
Credits
to
deposited.
remove this protective cage. I'm gonna go ahead and blow the structural spars. Yeah, demo charge. Now, the ship is small enough that these are gonna kick it around a lot. I'm gonna offset that by, well, I'm gonna do nothing right now because it's the end of the ship. I'm going to put the charges on opposite sides so they sequence top, bottom, left, right, like that. So they sort of cancel each other out. Doesn't exactly work that way. It salvage a lot of fuel tank, a lot of nanocarbon. Not bad.